Hey, shalom, shalom, saints. This is Pastor John. I'm here. My good friend, Dr. Lee Cummins, and we're here. We're going to talk a little bit about Black Russia and end time prophecy. So this should be off the chain. Brother Cummins, you ready?
Hey, I'm good to go. I would like to first thank the brother, the elder. He got like 19 titles, so I don't know which one to use. But Brother Tate for allowing me to come on and do this piece, Black Russia and End Time Prophecy. We're going to start this off in the book of Genesis, the 10th chapter, and the first verse. We're going to show you that Russia went by many names, but Russia was known from ancient times. In the 10th chapter of Genesis, verses 1 and 2. You want to get it or am I going to get it?
Yeah, you get it, man.
Okay, my volume coming across pretty good?
Man, you sounding good, man.
Okay, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, which is Japhet, Gomer, Magog. Magog is Russia, and so is Gog. And then I'm gonna skip down to no, I'm only gonna do those two. Magog, well, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, Madai, which is the Medes and the Persians, Javan, which is the Greeks, Tubal and Meshach. Meshach is ancient Moscow. So right here on the other side of the flood, the Lord, he brings in Russia, and we know Russia as Gog and Magog. From here, I want to read you something from, I don't know, can we share screens?
Yes,
I like
sir.
to share my screen with the, you got to enable it. Let me know when you're ready. I want to show you a document that was written by Professor Boyd Dawkins. He's going to utter some things in it was written in the year 1879. Now, I'm not going to read all of this. I'm going to pick it up where it says, when we look at. It says, when we look at the history of Europe during the last 2 or 3 years, we see that the claims of race have been those which have been advanced by Russia. And she has assumed that she has a perfect right to subject to one rule all those who belong to that race, which is the principal race in Russia. Well, this is 1879. What was the principal race in Russia? Well, we have to go back and resurrect another white historian or white scholar. And this scholar that we're going to resurrect is a brother by the name of Benjamin Franklin. I always say he's a soul brother, white guy number one. And I say that because he's like one of the leading Americans as far as history is concerned. Now, Benjamin Franklin writes an essay in 1751 called "The Population or the Popling or the Peopling of America." He was dealing with the population of America. He was dealing with the world order in his generation and what the people look like. This essay that was written in 1751, you can currently find it in the Library of Congress, the digital section. This is what Benjamin Franklin said. Quote, 1751, all Africa is tawny, black. Asia, chiefly tawny, black. America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. This right here means what? That the indigenous people were what? The Indians, black. In Europe, the Spaniards, the French, the Italians, and the Russians and Swedes are generally what we call a swarthy or black complexion. So what was the principal race that was in Russia in 1879? They were what? Black Russians. We have 2 witnesses here. Professor Boyd Dawkins, a white or Gentile witness, and Benjamin Franklin, white soul brother number 1, saying what? That the original Russians were black people. Now, I won't slide down, let you see a couple artifacts. This, and I have your reference here. This artifact was Russian archives, the cross of Kiev. Right now, who's in Kiev? The Russians have Kiev in the Ukraine surrounded. But look what the Tsar looked like. They were black men, swarthy men. The year is 1676. And I think it's blown up on the next page. Hold on. 1676. This is what the Tsar looked like in 1681. Constantine the Great, the Russian Tsar Alex Mikhail, and his princess, the Empress Helena. They all were what? They were men of color. Now, I'm going to show you just one more image. This is an image of Ernst Joan de Baron, the Duke of Courtland, 1740. This is what they looked like before the whites took over the world. Now that we looked at a couple of artifacts and images, I want to show you something else. This you have to see to believe, because if you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it. We're going to look at National Archive, 1917, World War I. So you can get an idea, so you can understand that this is not a hocus pocus moment by me. We're going to show you that the National Geographic, that I can't get out my screen. Hold on, I know what to do. And the National Geographic of 1917, they took a picture of the Russian army that fought in World War I. And I'm going to blow this up for you because I know this is going to be hard for you to imagine. But in 1917, during World War I, this is what they looked like. They were swarthy, but yet they was what? What is swarthy? Tawny or what? Or black. This is 1917. The Russian army during World War I in the National Geographic, Volume 1. Just in case you want to go check on me to make sure that this is not a Houdini move on our part. You see this, brother Tate?
Yeah, I'm looking at it, man.
Interesting, ain't it?
Very.
This is the Russian army. I had prepared this lesson for Black History Month. I couldn't get it out, so I'm giving it to you guys.
Man.
Now 1884. And I want y'all to understand, we've been doing a timeline. 1751, Benjamin Franklin wrote that the Russians were black, swarthy, or tawny, tan, brown. 1879, Professor Boyd Dawkins talked about the principal race that was in Russia. 1884, the Berlin Conference, Russia goes to the Berlin Conference. Any astute historian knows that the Berlin Conference was where all the Gentile powers got together, decided that they would go down into Judah, West Africa, and enslave and colonize the people. Russia went to the Berlin Conference, but she turned around and went home. She did not enslave the Negroes during the North Atlantic slave trade, and she refused to colonize Africa. You all need to think about that while y'all throwing them rocks out there. Out of all the nations that you root for, she was the only one that did not enslave you. That's all I got to say about that. Now,
wow.
World War I, they said, well, the question is, now just to give you an idea, brother Benjamin Franklin gives the world order in his generation. He's an eyewitness, and I have to believe him because he was there. So he gives an eyewitness account of the nations that were present, and he tells you who was black and who wasn't black. We're going to go back and read that article again, if you don't mind, sir.
Go ahead.
Because I want to make sure that this stays fresh in the audience's mind. The book, Benjamin Franklin's essay, 1751, he said that in Europe, I'm starting right here, in Europe, the Spaniards, the French, the Italians, the Russians, the Swedes are generally what we call a swarthy complexion. So are the Germans. So as late as 1751, the Germans were black people as well. Now I'm gonna deviate from our lesson for a minute because there's a lesson in this. When the British sent a police force into the 13 colonies to quell or to try or to stop the revolution, when they were the 13 colonies were revolting, they didn't send British soldiers. They hired the black German they hired who you call the Hessians, the German Hessians. But Benjamin Franklin said that the Germans were what? They were Swarthy or black people.
Yeah.
Now, when they came in, I want to hit you with something. I want you to think about it. I want you to do your research and call Brother Tate back and get back with us. These black Germans that came in with that were called the Redcoats, this is what they look like. I got an image in here. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. If I'm speeding. So if I stumble a little bit, it's because this is a fresh run that we're doing.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
So I want to show you an image that was created by Paul Revere. I want you to understand, I don't even need that image. This image was created by Paul Revere, who was considered a traitor in his generation. But Paul Revere worked with, let me see if I got it right here. Take a second, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm dancing right now.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't see it on this end.
I haven't hit the share screen yet. I'm trying
Okay.
to I'm hoping that I saved it. Yeah, I did. Here is an artifact of that was created by Paul Revere. I want y'all to see this. It's going to astonish you because Paul Revere, this is the image right here. I created the image in such a way that I could show you who. You see right here, it says engraved and printed and sold by Paul Revere, Revere Paul. So I blew it up down here just so you can see that I'm not trying to trick you. Engraved, printed, and sold by Paul Revere. Paul Revere drew a depiction of the British soldiers who were what? They were Germans. Look what they look like. They were black.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not a good enough shot for you, I got a better shot where you can see this. So Paul Revere depicts the German soldiers as men of color. And we're gonna go real quick and take a look at that because I had told Brother Tate when I requested to do this, I said, man, I got something that's gonna knock them out, it's gonna knock their socks off.
Yes, sir.
Now you see this better?
Yeah, you can see that better.
So I blew the artifact up for you guys, and I'm gonna blow it up some more because I want to focus on these soldiers. These were the so-called British soldiers, but they were really what? German Hessen mercenary group that was hired by the King of Britain at that time to come and quell the revolution. Now I'm gonna hit you with a startling number. These same black German soldiers occupied Boston for 7 years. They occupied New York for 6 years. They occupied Charleston, South Carolina for 2.5 years. They occupied Brandywine for 10 months. They occupied Savannah, Georgia for 4 years. They occupied Rhode Island for 3 years, and they occupied Philadelphia for 1 year. The 13 colonies were occupied by a police force that consisted of black German Hessian soldiers, and you can quote me on that.
Oh, wow.
And our witness was who? Our witness is who? Benjamin Franklin. Is that right? Now that we see this, the question is, what happened? Well, what happened was World War I. Over 1 million Black Russians died in World War I. And in World War II, they killed 30 million Black Russians, male soldiers. And the ones that they did not kill, they got rid of through what you call sex. If I can't kill you with the sword or the bomb, then I'm gonna send my daughter to get rid of you. And she'll get rid of you through childbirth. Y'all understand? Now we're gonna go a little further in this. We're gonna show you that the Ukrainians are being used by the West. The Ukrainian president was a comedian a couple of years ago. This comedian, the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, the comedian, won an election and became president. But he does not understand politics. And so he allowed himself to be used as a puppet by the West. If anybody been watching the conflict, the West is not helping him. He's out there by himself. he went in his what? In his simplicity. And I'm going to read the scripture to reinforce this.
Signed that little thing to get some partners.
Pardon me?
I said he signed that little thing to get some partners and be a part.
But you know what they told him? They rejected him. And the reason they rejected him is because they don't want no smoke from Russia. He went to the EU to apply for membership. The EU is the 10 toes or the 10 horns in the book of Revelation. They don't want no smoke. So they denied him. Let's go and look at this, how he went in his simple. Well, I don't even want to go there. I'm going to condense the lesson. There's something called the art of war. The book say, in the book, it says, if you're 5 times as strong as your enemy, you put them in a circle. Right now, Russia has the Ukraine and the city of Kiev in a what? In a circle. But the Lord is going to tell you what you do when you find yourself outnumbered. We're going to go to, the Lord teaches the art of war also. He's teaching in the 14th chapter of Luke. We're going to pick it up at verse 28. And Yahweh, Yeshua, or the Lord, is going to teach the art of war. It's going to amaze you that he touches on almost everything, even war. In the 14th chapter, you want to read or you want me to read?
Read 14 and what?
Acts 14.
Oh, Acts
28.
Acts or Luke?
Luke 14. I'm sorry, guys. Luke 14 and 28.
14 and 28. It says, for which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it, less happy after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold is begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish it. Or what king going to war against another king sitteth not down first and consulted whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000.
So the Ukrainian, this is the Lord talking 2,000 years ago, but this applies to the Ukrainian president and the Russian president, President Putin. Zelensky don't have the numbers. Putin got the numbers and the nuclear weapons. Putin has the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. America's second. Russia is first. Now, this country, the Ukraine, has no nuclear weapons. You had war with a nuclear power juggernaut. The Lord said, the first thing you have to do is sit down and see, can you beat this king? Now, look what the Lord says when you see you can't win. Go ahead.
So likewise, or else, verse 32, or else while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassador and desires conditions of peace.
So the Lord is teaching the king or the president, this former comedian, Zelensky, what he should be doing. There's a column, a 40-mile column of tanks and bombs and missiles and gas and guns and soldiers on its way to Kyiv. They've been driving since yesterday, trying to reach Kyiv. They was 40 kilometers off. He should have did what?
Sent that ambassador out there.
He should have been like, look, man, I can't win.
Yes.
But instead of him desiring peace, he's running all around the world trying to secure agreements with the European Union, which happens to be the 10 toes and the 10 horns in the book of Revelation. He appealed to the United States, but Putin already told them all. He said, anybody that interferes, I'm gonna put something on you like you ain't never seen before.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
He has by himself, he has withstood Papa and the 10 horns. But can I go a little further than this? I told you was gonna like this.
Oh man, that's great.
We're gonna go to Revelations right quick, the 13th chapter and the 17th verse. We don't have a whole lot of time. This guy got to get on the airplane. Revelations 13 and 1. Would you like to read or you want me to read?
I got it. And I stood up upon the sands of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads with 10 horns. And
Hold on. So this beast with the 10 horns is the European Union or the European Common Market. Dude ran down to the European Union and asked to apply for immediate membership. Because of the bear, Russia, they told him, we cannot do that. They denied him because they understand the play. He wants to use them as a shield against the bear, Gog and Magog, but it ain't the time yet. We're going to show you what to be looking for in the second coming of Christ, World War III, or the end of the world, as we know it, man's rulership. Keep going, I'm sorry.
The beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him power, and his seat and great authority.
This right here is the Gentile rulership. It began with Babylon in the 7th chapter of Daniel. Babylon was the lion. The bear is Medo-Persia, but at this particular time, I mean, the leopard is Greece. The bear is Medo-Persia, but now the bear is who? Is Russia. There go the lion of Babylon, and this dragon is who? Satan, the devil. And the book said the dragon gave this particular beast with the 10 horns, which is the European Common Market, his seat, his power, and great authority. Well, the authority wasn't given to the European Common Market. Because remember, in the 2nd chapter of Daniel, there was a stone that was carved out of a mountain without hands that hit the image on the toes, on the feet. The feet got what? 5 toes on each feet. 5 plus 5 equals 10, right?
Right.
The 10 toes of Daniel is also what? The 10 horns in the book of Revelation. The 10 horns is the European Common Market right here, sitting on the earth smack dab in front of you. But you're also busy having fun. You don't even know prophecy. And so, where is Papa or that other church that sit on 7 hills gonna get his power from? Satan the devil. Keep going.
Says
Verse
3.
3.
And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? And who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
That's that. See, the 10 toes. This is somebody different. This, and the book will tell you who this is in Revelation 17:9. This is the mind that have wisdom. The 7 heads that's on this in the first verse are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There's only one church on the earth that sit on 7 hills.
Definitely.
Keep a marker here. Let's read that for the people. Let's go to Revelation 17 and 9. You want me to read it? You got it.
I got it. It
Okay,
says,
go ahead. Revelation 17 and 9.
And here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits.
Now we go back to Revelation, the 13th chapter in the first verse, and you get you some knowledge.
Yeah.
So these 7 heads, there's only one church that sit on 7 hills. That's the Vatican.
Yeah.
What is the official state religion of the European Common Market or the European Union? Catholicism. This ain't no knock against any religion. This is simply what it is. Y'all understand? So the book said what? They're going to be in power 42 months. I ain't going to read all that. Skip down to verse 14.
14. It says, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which have the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Okay, so now, but he gonna come up with something. And what's that gonna be? Skip down to verse 16.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich or poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And the
So wait a minute.
six
So hold on. The Hebrew alphabet or letter for 6 is what? The wall. So woe 666 is whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
And he gonna make you take a mark either in your what? In your forehead or your right hand.
Yeah.
This is the beginning. You're gonna have to choose a side. We got some people running right here sitting on the fence. You ain't chose no side. You are independent, as you call yourself. You are non-denominational. But you're gonna have to pick it's gonna come a day when you're gonna have to pick a side. Whose side are you on? Well, let's go a little further in this. Let's go to Daniel. No, I don't want to show you Daniel. I want to show you the shadow. People say, well, when is this thing going to kick off? I'm going to give you the shadow of this thing that's coming. Let's go to Matthew 24:1. You only got a couple more places. Matthew 24:1. And you have to understand something also. We didn't pre-tape this. We didn't have no run through. We're doing this raw. Matthew 24:1.
And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there should not be here left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
See, so the Wailing Wall is a what? Is a hoax. Because when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, they didn't leave one stone standing. So the wall that they wailing at is not part of Solomon's temple, y'all. But keep going.
He sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the signs of thy coming and the end of the world?
See, so they finally got around to asking a real question. Hey, man, when you coming back? Skip down to verse 6.
Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
What are we hearing? We're hearing about the Ukrainian war and mighty Russia. But the Lord said, don't be troubled by this. All these things got to come to pass. Go ahead.
Nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places.
Kingdom what? Kingdom go what? Rise against kingdom. We'll read all that. We're going to get down. I want to show you the shadow. Now, the thing, when you walking, your shadow comes around the corner first, and then you come around. They see your shadow first, right?
Right.
We're going to show you the shadow of the second coming of the Messiah or of Christ. And then we're going to show you what's going to trigger his coming. Read verse 14.
This gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Hey, but wait a minute. He ain't talking about that Roman Christian gospel that they've been preaching since the end of slavery or during the slave trade. He's talking about the gospel that the Hebrews are teaching. That gospel has not been preached in all the earth yet. That's what we're trying to do. Y'all understand?
Yeah.
Now check this out. So what's the shadow of his coming? Read verse 15.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, who readeth, let him understand. Then
so first of all, they got to build what? The third temple. So the shadow of the second coming of Christ, or the end of man's rulership on this earth, is what? The building of the temple. Before the man of sin or the Antichrist can go inside the temple, they first got to what? Build a temple. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
So what is the shadow of his coming? The building of that temple in Jerusalem, that third temple in Jerusalem. And then when the man of sin who sits on 7 hills, the Vatican, when he moves from Jerusalem, from the Vatican, and moves to Jerusalem and takes up his residence inside this temple, that is the start, the beginning of the end. Once you see him go inside the temple, change his address to Jerusalem, that signals the beginning of the end. It ain't the end yet. So there are 2 events here. The one event is the shadow of his coming, the temple being built. The second event that signals the second coming is what? When he goes inside the temple. Now, once he goes inside the temple, how long is it going to last? Let's go to Revelations 11 real quick. Revelations 11. Then we're going to be out. I'm going to run maybe 1 or 2 more places, and then I'm going to shut it down. I'm not going to really get, we'll do a part 2 on this when he come back from Africa.
Yeah,
so we might be able to do it while he's down. If he gets bored, we can do it while he's in Africa. Revelations 11 and 1. You want me to read it? You got it.
I got it. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of Yah, and the ark, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Now, he ain't talking about the temple of Yahweh. Why? Because this temple right here was built for who? The Antichrist.
Yeah.
I remember Matthew 24 and 15, he said, he's going to place the abomination at what? That make him desolate. He's going to go into the holy place. So this ain't the God of Israel's temple. This is the God of the Antichrist. Yahweh or Jesus or Yeshua is never going to sit in this temple. Why? He's going to destroy it. And there's another passage of scripture where the Lord says that Zerubbabel in those 7 going to build him a temple to sit in, to dwell in during the 1,000-year reign. But go ahead.
Court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
If you take 42 months divided by 12, you get what? You get 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So the Lord is not only is he giving you the shadow of his coming, because he don't want to hurt us, Tate. So he's giving us all these signs. First, he gives you the shadow, and the shadow is what? The building of the third temple, y'all. Then he gives you the moment that you can start doing your countdown when the Antichrist goes inside the temple, y'all. And then he loves you so much that he gives you the exact time that this guy's going to be in the temple, 42 months or 3.5 years. Is that all right?
Lesson, man.
So now that we got this, the question now is, what is what's going to signal the end of World War III? Let's go to Revelation 6, and I think this is going to be my last place. That guy got a pack. I just want to drop this on y'all because Black History Month ain't over with yet. It's over with. It's according to the Gentiles. I always like to take it an extra month.
I love that.
Yeah, I've decided Black History Month is going to last till March, end of March. Revelation 6, and this signals the end of, no, this don't signal the end. So how would I like to phrase this? This 6th seal is a shadow of the second coming of Yeshua. Now, this is how we're going to say it. This 6th seal, once you see this event happen, the second coming of Christ will happen within 210 days. Because when the 7th seal is open, the angel's going to hand out 7 trumpets. These trumpets are blown every 30 days. 7 times 30 is 210. When the 6th seal is blown, it is a shadow. The best way I could describe it, I'm trying to give it a type. I'm trying to give it a,
It's open to
once that 6th seal is broken,
yeah,
You're going to be within 210 days, and you're going to see, if you take on the change and you become a spirit being, you're going to see Yahweh. Let's read that. Revelation 6 and 12. Go ahead.
6 and 12. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell upon the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled up together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in dens and in rocks of the mountain, and said unto the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. And
hold on. Verse 14 says what? The heaven departed as a scroll. When it is what? Rolled together. And when that heaven depart as a scroll, they gonna see something. Whatever they's looking at, it caused all the so-called rich folks, these so-called billionaires and trillionaires, and these so-called elite, to throw their gold and silver away. And you can read that in the book of Isaiah as well. Now they want to hide in the rocks and the caves, because whatever it is that they looking at, they gonna see. When that heaven roll back like a scroll, it's gonna mess with their mind so bad, they gonna go hide. Keep reading.
Says, for the great
Verse 16.
day, and he said unto the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Now,
They gonna see who? They gonna see the Father and the Son. When that heaven rolled back like a scroll. When that heaven rolled back like a scroll, that's only the sixth seal. Each seal lasts 6 months. So 6 times 6 is 3. That's 3 years. Remember, there's a scripture that says, except those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved.
Yeah.
Matthew 24 chapter first, it said, if after the man of sin goes into the temple, there's going to be great tribulation such as was never seen from the beginning of the creation. And then it says, but except those days had been shortened, no flesh would be saved. The tribulation period is supposed to last for 3.5 years. The sixth seal, each seal is open every 6 months, cracked every 6 months. 6 times 6 is 36, divided by 12 is 3. That's why I made the comment earlier that the 7 trumpets blow every 30 days. 7 times 30 is 210. That comes out to 6 months, or a little roughly over 7 months. There go your other what? 7 months. That plus the 3 years give you your what? 3.5 years or your 42 months. When that heaven rolled back like a scroll, this is what they're gonna see. Let's go to Revelation. Can I go 2 more places? Revelations 1 and 9. No, Revelations 1 and 12. We ain't gonna read all this. I just want to show you. They're gonna see a but. So all you naysayers, I heard a woman on Fox News said that everybody that Jesus was a Caucasian. We're gonna show you. It's the Bible don't preach that. Go ahead.
Said 1 and 12.
Revelations 1 and 12.
And I turned to see the voice that spaketh with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candles, and in the midst of the 7 candles, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girded about the paps with a golden girdle. And his head and his hair were white like wool, and white.
Wait a minute. He had what? He had that white woolly hair. I think the best. Some of y'all, I remember, what was his name? The great abolitionist, Frederick Douglass, had a big old hair, white hair. He had a white afro.
Yeah.
Y'all see the old timers from the 60s walking down the street with them white afros now? That's what Yahweh or Yeshua is going to look like. That's what he looked like. What? When he got up out the grave, he had an afro. Because this is what? After the resurrection. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And
he didn't have no blue eyes. Eyes like a what? Flame of fire. Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
Now, that's the Son. This is the one that died on the cross. This is what he looked like after the resurrection. So if he looked like this after the resurrection, then he must have been what? This color before the resurrection. This is our last place, Daniel 7. And then that we done. Because that heaven rolled back like a scroll, they're going to see two gods, the Father and the Son, with afros. Black. They're going to have to make a decision in that day. Can I serve a black Yeshua or a black Jesus? Daniel 7. Is that 7, Lord? Okay, 7 and
7 and 9.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient of days did sit, whose garment was as white as snow, and hair of his head was as pure wool.
Wait a minute. So the Father got what? He also has an afro. And can I prove one is the ancient of days is the Father, and the other one they call the Son of Man. So the Son of Man got out of the grave in Revelations 1 and 9. He had an afro, and we're going to show them both together. And this is why they was afraid, because they've been mistreating the poor of the earth for the last 400 years. When they have them rolled back like a scroll, they're going to say, oh, no, these guys got afros. And they both are what? Black gods. We're going to read verse 13, and that's it. Go ahead.
I saw in a night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came.
Who is the Son of Man? That's the one they call Yeshua, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what they call him all over the testimony, the Son of Man. And the Son of Man got out of the grave with an afro. Feet looked like he had been burned in the furnace. Now, the ancient of days, his father had an afro too. So the Son of Man is standing there with an afro. Watch what they're going to say. Go ahead.
Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the ancient of days.
So we got two guys standing here with afros. Two gods, the Son of Man and the ancient of days. That's all I got for you.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, man, we've been trying to do this lesson for at least 3 days, haven't we?
Yeah, we just couldn't connect.
This was the appointed time. So y'all, we gave you something today, something that'll save you. If you guys like this piece, then get back with Tate, and we're gonna come back with a deeper piece. We're gonna map this thing out for you and show you how this thing gonna play out step by step according to the script, not according to what we think. All right. And we got the library set up now, the Negro Question Library, where we're selling subscriptions and memberships. Going on out there, you can go inside my bookstore and read whatever you want to read for a whole month for $9.99. Hey, Tate, I kind of enjoyed that
That's a
piece.
great lesson, man. We have a good fellowship, though. We talk about the Bible every time we get together. So this is what we do all the time.
Hey, bro, this is what it is.
Yes.
People want to know. We gave them the shadow. We gave them the sign. We gave them the countdown. We gave them another shadow, 210 days before the coming of Yeshua. Hey, the next time we do a lesson, we're going to bring this thing within 3 days. I know somebody out there saying that's impossible. It is not impossible. Check us out.
All right, man. Shalom, brother.
You too, sir. God bless.